why don't we welcome to the show our guest to bring some sanity to this place of insanity, some logic to this place of logic.
Good luck to him.
Some sense to this place of nonsense. See what I did there? Nonsense.
Hey,
it's only bloody Joe Trinder. Kia ora, Joe.
Kia ora, Pat. Kia ora, Chewie. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you doing?
Good.
Hey, I think it might be fun, actually. We're going to talk about the Treaty Principles Bill and what happened on Friday. Because what kind of happened on Friday is we had announced to us what the submissions were all about. And obviously, we all know the overwhelming number of responses and submissions was like, nah, fuck off, basically. So we'll get to that in a second. But before we start that, can we do can we do the Tamatha story with you now? Because I think it's great. And I'd love to get your perspective on it as well. You cool with that, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do that, guys. So I was around on that insipid little place called Twitter today, and I saw this. As you can see, I got there 11 minutes after ACT sent it out, because this is a screen grab I took of their video. And they said in their little video that they put out, the ACT, what did they say? Oh, they said, spotted in Wellington today. And the people within the chat for ACT are all like, what are the Greens trying to say? Basically seeing it as a Green Party promotional poster. So, of course, my well-worded response is that ACT Party is so stupid and rabid with their feels. They have put this image out like it's something the Greens would pay for. It's paid for by the Sensible Sentencing Trust as a hit job, and they fell for it. #morons. And what I found out as we went through the afternoon was these things started popping up all over the place. There was one in Wellington. Is it an image? I can make it bigger. Defund the Police. You can see that. And then there was this one, which I think is fucking, what an awesome poster.
Like, it goes hard, right? Like, I don't, what the Greens, are the Greens mad about this?
No.
This is what I think. This is hilarious.
I can tell you from conversations today, Tamatha thinks it's pretty funny, and it's
a banging picture of her as well. She looks great.
Well. I've got goss about that, and she just basically said free publicity. So yeah, so Tamatha's coming on tomorrow night, and we'll talk about this. There's a couple of things I want to bounce off for you. Sensible Sentencing Trust is like a 15 years since it was last dead movement. So I do have genuine questions about where they got the money for this, because this is not a cheap exercise. I found a press release, and I think it was from 2023. It was a Gmail email address saying that they'd like to restart up the Sensible Sentencing Trust. So to go from a Gmail email address, in 2 years we're putting up pictures or billboards all over the country, I'm like, that is an interesting progression of funds. And I just want to remind you, maybe you never took Sensible Sentencing Trust seriously, but they lost all credibility to most people when they decided to take the side of Bruce Emery, the 50-year-old man who stabbed to death a boy who had graffitied his wall. So the Sensible Sentencing Trust, the people who are ardently there for the victims, in this instance, backed the offender. And then, this happens all the times with these astroturf groups. It all fell apart because, backing the guy who literally stabbed to death the victim, supporting them, that was when they all fell over. Before we kind of get into where to from here with this advertising, Joe, you're our lovely guest. What do you think about the billboards and stuff that have gone around the country?
I don't think that the Sensible Sentencing Trust didn't get the effect they were after in trying to malign Tamatha. And I think what's happened is the billboard's just like super woke and super appealing to people like me that I quite admire the billboard.
Now, Chewie, there was a little bit of buzz going around today about how could the Sensible Sentencing Trust do this? Is it against any electoral rules and stuff? Now, you have all the information on that. I'll let you release your information first, and then I'll drop the hammer if people haven't heard this yet. So is this against the electoral rules?
So I was talking to a friend of mine who runs, was involved with a lobby group, the Better New Zealand group, basically around EVs. They ran a series of advertisements, or tried to, basically pointing a finger at Luxon, and they were told that what they were doing there was breaching the Electoral Act. The Electoral Commission has come out and confirmed that the Green Party had contacted them about these advertisements, but in the Commission's view, the billboards complied with the Electoral Act. Now, what they said here is, in this case, based on the overall content and context of the billboards, our view is that they may be reasonably be regarded as encouraging or persuading voters not to vote for the Green Party. Accordingly, the prior written authorization of the party secretary is not required. So this is the thing. You can't run an ad saying vote for this party. You can run an ad saying don't vote for this party. So I think they've got this wrong, because it very clearly says at the bottom, vote green. But it's a weird sort of point to try and make. They're saying that the words on the billboard don't matter, that the implication matters more. And I think that blows the door off a certain type of attack ad that every party, every lobby group, everybody with a little bit of money to buy a billboard at the moment should 100% exploit.
Okay. So my sources tell me the inside word is, whether it's loud, allowed, not allowed, whatever, is sensible sentencing trust. This is so good. Are being forced to take them down because they don't have rights to the photo. They've stolen the photo.
Oh, you absolute rookies.
And they don't have rights to the photo. So they must take it down. And so just so you know, I've just Googled Tamatha's name. This is obviously a Green Party paid for. This is the image. See the white behind and the smile. It's that same image. See the white behind, and that this is owned by the Greens. Obviously, this is a publicity shot that's owned by the Greens. And my understanding is, because Sensible Sentencing Trust didn't have the right to the photos, they must remove the billboards, which I just think it's just the icing on top of a beautiful story.
Here's the other aspect, Pat. I mean, you as you said, this would not have been cheap.
No.
So the Sensible Sentencing Trust, their website is just like, they still have the domain, but they're not using it. There's not a website there.
No, it goes to 3 strikes or something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy. So if you had the money, you're like, what's your better bang for buck? Actually get a digital footprint out there, or pay for some billboards? It's so obviously an astroturf sort of campaign. That like, someone's going to dig into this, and we're going to find out who's actually behind it.
I mean, if we're talking about things in the past, and we just look straight toward this is not an accusation for legal reasons, but this has the smell of TPU all over it, doesn't it? That's what they do.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Here we go. Look, and so this is you're talking about the money. This is what I was saying. So this was 2024. This wasn't even a year ago. Sensible Sentencing Trust reactivate to oppose weaker 3. So they've reactivated in June. They have a Gmail email address, and they've gone from that, what's that going to be, 9 months ago, to these billboards all over the country. Something's fishy in the state of Denmark. I think I mixed my metaphors there, but there you go.
There we go. Look at that.
I think they were sst.org.nz. They were .org.nz before.
Oh,
I think it goes
that one. Okay.
You know, I think it goes to the 3 strikes. Anywho, I actually think it's kind of really working for the Greens. I think it's kind of hilarious. And if we get a chance, I'm already trying. We'll see what happens. Whānau. I think that would be pretty good merch myself. Get a charity on board, do some merch. I'm sure that would be a banger of a seller.
It's remarkable how much, like, they think they're onto a winner with this defund the police sort of thing, but they don't understand what a generational difference this is. That they think they've absolutely smashed it out of the park without taking any of the context that Tamatha brought to that discussion.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. They just don't get it.
Well, look, tonight's going to be a little bit of a show about own goals, hoisted by one's own petard, because coming up a bit later on, we're going to talk about David Seymour and ACT and how they've own goaled it in the last week or so. It's pretty amazing. Hey, Joe, just before we move away from that, you got any views on that before we get into talking about the Treaty Principles Bill?
Well, I think Tamatha made some really good points in a discussion. It wasn't exactly about defunding the police. It was putting it into kind of alternative versions of law enforcement, like just like community watch groups and stuff, and also like Māori wardens and just kind of organizations that are a bit more community focused and not so intimidating.
Yeah, and that's the mistake with the title. It was a mistake in America because it's not about defunding the police. It's about allocating some of the money that goes to the police for other areas within the service industry that could help. Like if it's a mental health emergency, maybe in America, a person with a gun is not the best person to send along. Maybe someone who is has more experience in mental health issues. So that's actually what it means. I know that's what it means. So do you, Joe. So do you, Troy. It was interesting actually on 2 Sunday nights ago when we did the Leftist Collective. I said that about this conversation, and Kieran McElnulty said, I didn't know that's what it meant. So, you know, I guess we have to go, there are people out there who don't get that, and so maybe I wish the New Zealand version of that they had got a better slogan, because it does open itself up to then just be, well, of course it means that, look at the words, defund means take away, but it's more nuanced than that. I think when you have to use nuance to explain a policy, you're always going to lose a certain percentage of the people.